Hello, Ungoogleable.
Gorgeous.
Welcome to your life. Today is beautiful. Please log in.
Leave. They didn't know how to leave. They waited too long to leave, Karim said. Karim drove in a convoy of 250 or 300 cars. They stuck together for safety. The group decided against taking the most direct route to Kurdistan, which would have taken them through the Arab border town of Rabia. ISIS wasn't the only danger. Yazidi Kurds have come to regard Sunni Arabs generally as a threat. So they drove across the border at an unmarked point into Syria, where Kurdish rebels who form one side in the complex Syrian civil war were in control of the area. The rebels waved the convoy on, while Syrian Arab villagers stared or took videos with their mobile phones. A relative of Karim's happened to be a cigarette smuggler and knew the way across the desert once the roads disappeared. Everyone and everything has his day, Karim told me. The undercarriage of Karim's car began to break off in pieces. They drove for hours through Syria, crossed back into Iraq, and shortly afterward reached a checkpoint into Kurdistan, where the line of cars was so long that they had to wait for hours more. It wasn't until nightfall, nearly 12 hours, after they had fled their home, that Karim and his family reached the Kurdish town of Dohuk, where he happened to have a brother who gave them shelter in his small apartment. Compared with other people here, I'm in heaven, Karim said by phone from Dohuk. Some are in camps for refugees. It's very hot and very hard. We are safe, but thousands of families are in the mountains. Thousands. Karim heard that one young man had been executed by ISIS for no reason other than being Yazidi. A friend of Karim's was hiding in the mountains, running low on supplies, and out of battery power in his phone. Another friend, an Arab, he is not a religion guy, he's open-minded. It doesn't matter if you're Christian or Yazidi, Karim said, had stayed in Sinjar and was trapped in his home. Now ISIS was going house to house, with information provided by locals, looking for Iraqi soldiers and police, for people with money, for Kurds. They had already taken away the friend's brother, a police officer. No one knows for sure how many people ISIS has killed since the attack on Sinjar. Karim heard that it is many hundreds. Prince Tasin said, the world leader of the Yazidis has issued an appeal to Kurdish, Iraqi, Arab, and European leaders, as well as to ban Mamoon and Barack Obama. It reads, I ask for aid and to lend a hand and help the people of Sinjar areas and its affiliates and villages and complexes which are home to the people of the Yazidi religion. I invite you to assume your humanitarian and nationalistic responsibilities towards them and help them in their plight and the difficult conditions in which they live today. It's hard to know what, if anything, is left of the humanitarian responsibilities of the international community. The age of intervention is over, killed in large part by the Iraq War. But justifiable skepticism about the use of military force seems also to have killed off the impulse to show solidarity with the helpless victims of atrocities in faraway places. There's barely any public awareness of the unfolding disaster in northwestern Iraq, let alone a campaign of international support for the Yazidis, or for the Christians who have been driven out of Mosul, or the Sunni Arabs who don't want to live under the tyranny of ISIS. The front page news continues to be the war in Gaza, a particular Western obsession where the one's views are pro-Israel, pro-Palestinian, pro-peace, or pro-plague on both houses. Nothing that either side has done in that terrible conflict comes close to the routine brutality of ISIS. Karim couldn't help expressing bitterness about this. I don't see any attention from the rest of the world, he said. In one day, they killed more than 2,000 Yazidi in Sinjar, and the whole world says, save Gaza, save Gaza. Yesterday, a senior US official told me that the Obama administration is contemplating an airlift, coordinated with the United Nations, of humanitarian supplies by C-130 transport planes to the
Mic check 1 2.
Congratulations. You reject the good enough. You reject words like symbolism and postmodernism. Obsolescence is not part of your vocabulary. Every night, every day, every step of the way. The diktat of fashion.